take you down to Durban now, where unions affiliated to Cosatu this morning are protesting at the Marion Hill Toll Plaza outside Durban. They're demonstrating against record-high fuel prices and rocketing living costs. eNCA's Dasen Thathiah is tracking that story and joins us live from Pinetown. Dasen, good morning to you. So, what is the strike meant to achieve, and why is it happening at the Marion Hill Toll Plaza?
Well, Xolo, you'll know that this route is a very important one. It's the main route between Durban and Johannesburg. It's also a route that sees a lot of goods being transported. It's also the point at which protesters will be able to perhaps make the most impact, I think. And if you look behind me, the toll plaza is there, and it's actually quite quiet. There's not a lot of traffic coming through at the moment. And I think part of that reason is because some of the protesters have already started their campaign on the N3 from Pietermaritzburg to Durban. Now, other protesters are going to be joining that group as they make their way here. They did meet this morning at Curry's Fountain in Durban and then traveled out here to the toll plaza. Now, this comes at a time when the fuel price is at a record high, and especially after that massive R1 increase earlier this month. And even here to my left, Xolo, you'll see that there's already police that have gathered. Some of the protesters are here behind me at the moment, and police keeping a very close eye on this. I'm joined now by the Provincial Secretary of Cosatu. As you know, they are leading this campaign today. Edwin Mkhize joins me. Mr. Mkhize, firstly, you were here. I see that people are starting to gather. What was your thinking in choosing this particular location, and what will be your plan for today?
Yes, I think as you can see, we've got about 200 cars now. If you look at these cars, look at the cars that are there with the protesters, more cars are coming. I think we'll end up having more than 500 cars. All these cars are full of people. The reason why we have chosen this spot is because the matter that we are here about is not just a KZN matter, but it's a societal matter, it's a national matter of interest. That is why we have chosen this road, because this is a national road. We didn't want a situation where we'll go to a small corner and picket there. We want a spot where we can send our message loud and very clear to our officials and to those who are our servants in government.
One of the parts of your statement says that government has almost failed the people because of not making sure that petrol prices are kept down. But this protest also comes at a time when government is talking about capping the fuel price and looking into that. Is this protest still relevant while those processes are taking place?
No. You see, that is an old talk, the first thing. The second thing, we can't talk about capping. We are here, we are saying reverse this perpetual increase in petrol. We must reverse it, and reverse it now, because we are already suffocating. We are dying as workers. Beyond this stage, we'll collapse. And that is why we are raising our voice. We are saying this petrol price that is being imposed to the South African right now, it must be reversed. And the VAT increase that has been imposed to the people of South Africa, it must be reversed, and it must be reversed urgently. We can't keep on talking about the talks that are taking place when the people are already collapsing now. Workers can't afford. Remember, this year, many of our unions have been negotiating salary increase. And employers have been profusely refusing to increase the salary of workers. Many companies did not go beyond 7%. Some companies, if you get 7%, it will only be 7.5%. This includes the public sector servants who are government workers. And these workers, if you increase VAT, you increase fuel. Remember, when you increase fuel, you increase paraffin as well. How do you expect the poor people of this country, the working class, to survive? And we are saying we are suffocating right now.
Because that's the other part of your protest, isn't it? It's not just about fuel prices, it's also about inequality as well, you say in your statement.
The protest is about the high cost of living. In this country, no one is not aware that the levels of inequality are so high. There are those that control the means of production who are filthy wealthy. There are those who have nothing, the downtrodden. You cannot expect that when the petrol and VAT increase, it increase equally when we live in an abnormal society where the standard of living is not equal. So the protest is also about the high cost of living, which is imposed to everybody, those that are poor and those that are rich.
Mr. Mkhize, I know you did say prior to this protest that motorists should expect delays when they are traveling on this road. But we also see now that RCI is saying to us that they will not allow any blockade of this toll plaza. How is your protest going to take place? Are you going to be off to the side? What is the plan for the day?
Let me tell you, the protest today is a peaceful protest. It's a protest that we have applied for. We've met all the requirements. We are going to be protesting here. We are going to be doing demonstrations. We are going to be addressed by solidarity organizations that are supporting us, including the alliance partners. We are going to be protesting and picketing here. You see the issue of the traffic flow. I want to clarify it. As we are gathering already now, you can see how much the traffic is blocked. Not because there's anyone blocking the traffic, but because many of the people, as they are coming here, some they take interest in what is happening. But you know, ordinarily, if there is something that is happening in the road, it tends to distract some of the motorists. That's why we
thank you, Mr. Mkhize. We'll leave it there, and we will chat to you a bit later on. Oli, that was Edwin Mkhize just telling us about the plans for the day. He says that this protest is not necessarily only about the fuel prices itself, but it's also about the inequality that exists in South Africa, the fact that salaries are not going up in accordance with the other increases that we are seeing, fuel being one of them, VAT being another. They are also going to be supported here by the alliance partners. He has told me prior to this that the SACP is expected to be here, as well as representatives of the ANC. Also other smaller groupings that have been protesting against fuel prices also expected to join in. But we'll be here and we'll be monitoring the situation for the rest of the day.